Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go. F1 is back, baby. Oh, yes. It returns to us. Welcome along, Connor Gaming. Connor Gaming straight in here early on. Welcome along. Twiggy was here early as well. Let's go Ferrari. Twiggy is going for. Q-Storm's here. Morning all, working but watching from afar. Yes, welcome Q-Storm. Akash is here as always as well. Nice and early for you, Akash, this time round as well. Akash cheering on the Red Bull. Max, Super Max, he says. Yes, it's going to be a exciting qualifying, hopefully. Just over 29 minutes to go as well until we kick off. And we are properly back for the F1 season. We're going to bring you some commentary. We're going to bring you a bit of everything. That is for sure. So should be hopefully pretty good. Let's run you through what has happened so far then. So practice 1, as you can see down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And Michael Black starts work at 4. God, Michael, that's frustrating. Yeah, perfect timing for Akash. So as you can see, down here, practice 1, we had Danny Rick. Fantasy team reveal, Jetto. Oh, I haven't got it on the screen. I'll have to try and pick it up in a bit, potentially. Do you want me to try and actually have a look? Right, hold on. Let's see if I've got it on this phone. Let's have a look. Everyone, fantasy. Here we go. Can I see it? I'm not logged in at the minute. Maybe later. But yes, if you are just joining us, where have you been? Because practice 1. Here we go. Danny Rick was fastest, obviously, in the first practice session with Norris, Piastri and Tsunoda. Practice 2, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso and Sainz. And practice 3 saw Sainz again do well, and Alonso, P1 and P2, with a bit more, well, 30.8. There's a lot of time left out there. So it's going to be interesting to see who is sandbagging hard at the moment. Muna says, Red Bull messing around in, well, the thing is, Muna, I could probably see that. Nobody's going to show their pace. I don't think Ferrari have shown their pace, Aston Martin, Red Bull, Mercedes or McLaren. I think you're only going to see the elite team's pace, maybe in Q2. They're going to have enough potentially to get through Q1, but maybe Q2 even to Q3 will be the first time that we see the pace properly of these elite teams. So it's going to be interesting. Are Red Bull clear? Well, it doesn't look like it in practice, but practice is practice at the end of the day. Connor doing well at NASCAR manager as well. So it's going to be, hopefully, an absolute blast. Anybody got, who's watching, anybody got some early predictions for pole in this session? Anybody want to have a guess? We'll try and come back to it later on as well. But are you brave enough at the moment to give us a pole position potential? But so excited. So exciting to be back. Norris, would love Norris, Connor says. But Max or Lewis, so potentially a Red Bull or Mercedes. I mean, Red Bull look good on the race. That's race performance, that is for sure. Muna reckons pole for Max Verstappen. Also Akash, Max first, Leclerc P2, Sainz P3. So Ferrari, the nearest challengers for you, Akash. But Muna reckons Red Bull are sandbagging hard. I mean, they're not going to go out full strength, are they? Let's be honest with that. They're just not going to at all. So it's going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people at this stage thought that Red Bull would have smashed through practice, especially after that sort of testing that we thought that they were so far clear, like 1.3 seconds after the first testing session morning. And everyone got a bit worried, but maybe not so much at the moment. So 25 minutes, lights out for qualifying Q1. Who is going to be there? Can't wait. I don't think no one's really played their hand yet. I think all the teams I mean, we've seen in practice, all the teams are fairly close. You can see down here in the practice 3 result. I'll try and just bring my mouse over it as well. So you can see down here, 130.8 for Sainz, 130.9 for Alonso. We got a 131 and a 131. I mean, it's shaped up to be pretty exciting. Venticash, welcome along to this watch along. Hope you're doing well. And hope anybody who is watching, who is just joining, let me know your poll prediction down in the comments section. But, I mean, I'm buzzing. Norris did a 31-1, so you've got 5-6 drivers at the minute separated by 0.3 of a second. This could be exciting. Or it could be just Max Verstappen going off into the distance. But we shall never know until we see the cars on track. But not long to go. Anybody got any underdogs from testing and practice? Anybody supporting, wanting to see? I mean, personal of mine from my F1 Manager series is Williams. Really hope Williams have a massive, massive week and season. I think they deserve to be back towards the front. Josh goes, Max P1, Alonso P2, Sainz P3. I mean, that would be great for the championship this season. If it is that mixed up, that would be exciting to have. And we know Alonso, Aston Martin last year, very strong round in Bahrain. Akash, so saying Max Verstappen, first practice session, 0.6 off the pace. Second session, 1/10 off the pace. And just off the pace in FP3. It's going to be interesting. Yes, 29.7, I think, last. Well, I mean, 29.7s was, I think, pole position from last season as well. So it's going to be interesting to see which one they do. Hamas, they have not started qualifying yet. This is just a countdown until we get underway. So 22 minutes until we go racing. So just the practice times on the left-hand side at the moment, you can see. And then we will get into the session. I'll try and add a text box actually to try just and clarify that up, because I appreciate it's not the most clearest. Let's add it in. Here we go. Let's go Q1. We're going to learn on these streams all the time, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Here we go. Look at this editing. Beautiful. There you go. It's not the right colour, but yeah, no, it's close enough. Connor, welcome back at 4. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. But we're not far off Q1. Do you think Merc does better this year? Muna, on performance in testing and performance in practice, Merc seem very consistent. They've got rid of the proportion end so far. So it's going to be, I think, interesting for Mercedes. Hamilton leaving, which probably thinks a lot of people, meaning that Mercedes aren't going to be very strong. But the chances are they look pretty consistent at the moment. Obviously, Russell and Hamilton in practice too looked very strong. And you can see down the bottom left now, you had a 130.3 for Hamilton. And that is the fastest time that we have seen in these practice sessions. And obviously Q2, they do tend to do a qualifying run. But Max Verstappen, not in that top 5. That would be a shock going into Q3. Sainz will smash Leclerc. Akash, I did a video on this not too long ago, coming towards this season. And I generally think Sainz is going to have a great season. He has got no pressure at all on him. He's got nothing. He's got free wheel to show how good he is. So I think he's going to do well. Absolutely do well. 20 minutes till Q1. Avalanche, welcome along as well. Hope you're doing good. Let's get some more poll predictions in there. Let us know down below. We are absolutely ready. Looking for a Red Bull seat. Where does Sainz go this next season? Well, yes, exactly, Muna. Sainz is a great driver, very consistent, very solid. And it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. I think he's going to have a seat in F1 still, definitely. The one thing that they've got to watch out for today is wind. There's a lot of oversteer causing through turn 13. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can deal with the conditions as well. So I will be watching the screen as well. F1 live for me, just over here. But I think a lot of this qualifying session is going to be managed in turn 9 and turn 10. Turn 9's got a nice bump. And it's hard for the cars to slow down. So let's see what they can do. But make sure to like the stream as well. If you are just joining us, hit that sub button. Show some support for the channel. But where does anyone think? Who's going to be the worst car? Who's going to come 19th or 20th? Let's see them predictions. Who is going to be the slowest car in qualifying? That could be very interesting. Obviously, Alpine had a pretty slow practice free. And Haas are up there in the middle pack. But can Kick Sauber, let's call them, whatever we want to call them, can they get through? Alpine is the slowest. Well, Alpine can't be that bad, can they? They were like, surely not. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Haas, obviously, this season with Gunter Steiner going. Can they survive? Alpine and Haas, so a few people already saying that Alpine are going to struggle. Very interesting. Didn't see Alpine as a struggler, but yeah, Cash, track limits will pay a bit with wind as well. Wind is causing oversteer for the cars, so it could be decided by track limits. Don't be surprised if it does come into count. But they're just bolting up the cars. They are just getting ready for qualifying. Not far away now. Just bolting up the McLaren of Oscar Piastri's car at present. Doing the final touches. And getting that ready. But who is going to... Let's do another early prediction. Who is going to win overall season? Oscar Piastri or Lando Norris? Who is going to finish higher? I think Oscar's going to have a great season. Second season, he's got his rookie years out. Can Oscar Piastri upset the apple cart? Norris's car is ready, good to go. Looks like just some touches to Oscar's mending. So yeah, Avalanche saying moment Haas can only surprise late on development for 2024. Yes, Haas had a struggle last season as well until they bought some upgrades. Don't think they started too bad, but they wouldn't be where they want to be. I'm just hoping McLaren had a shocker last season to start with. I'm hoping they can be right on the money this time round. Could be very interesting. But Bahrain under the lights, spectacular. I can't think who else is going to... I mean, Danny Rick, I expect to have a big season as well this year. Danny Rick, full season under his belt now, has obviously left McLaren and then drafted back in by the AlphaTauri last year. Broke his wrist as well, remember, in that crash at Zandvoort. So really, it's his first proper season. And could he be driving for that Perez Red Bull seat? Neither some point this year. Because I think now Red Bull have given Perez enough time. They have given him enough seasons. And I don't think if he's firing, I think he's going to be under pressure. Maybe halfway through the season. But he's got to deliver in qualifying. He's got to set it up very strongly. Question is, can he? But Hamilton next year for Ferrari. Ooh, is that a sign that Ferrari are going in the right direction. Obviously, Carlos was fastest in practice 1. Well, sorry, practice 3 with Leclerc in 4th. Practice 2, Sainz was still in the mix in P4, but obviously outside of it in practice 1. So, could be interesting. Who will take the seat in the Mercedes? So it's been pretty vocal that there's that academy driver that Mercedes don't want to lose out on. So that's an interesting development. Mick Schumacher, I mean, surely he'll want to get back into F1 and a driver's seat at some point. I mean, they know what they're going to get with Carlos Sainz. I think George Russell will become the driver 1. So I think it's going to be interesting. But I think Sainz, I don't think they'll go with a rookie, and Akash hits to follow on Twitch. Appreciate that, Akash. But it's going to be interesting what they do decide. Definitely. I mean, it's a big seat to take. Yeah, Muna wants Mick Schumacher. I mean, everybody would love to see Mick Schumacher in. He had a rough time, didn't he, originally? So, yeah, will they? I think it's too much of a risk for Mercedes. Although there's big changes in 2026. So if you're going to give a driver the best possible chance, probably 2025 is going to be the season that you've got your chance. I mean, Sainz is going to be in a good team still, isn't he? He's not going to be dropping out to the likes of Haas. I mean, I know Bottas went from Mercedes to now State Kick F1, but Sainz is too good for that. TMD, welcome along. Sergeant for P1. I mean, that would be the story of F1 in its lifetime. Absolutely. Akash is Kevin. Kevin Magnussen been in the sport a while now. Not really moved forward. There is I mean, could Kevin go? And I don't think Kevin would go into a Mercedes. I mean, who could they go for? I mean, they're not going to go for anyone. Did they go for Alonso? But they've. Muna, I think he did. I want to say, did he get into Q3 in Vegas? Or was that just Albon? Bassett thinks Alonso into the seat of Mercedes. I mean, it would be a stunning move for Alonso. That is fair enough to say. Let's find what's Logan Sargent's best ever qualifying position. Let's try and find out. I think he's took Vettel returns to F1 and takes Mercedes. Ooh. He did. So, yeah, I think he did well in Vegas, I believe, Sargent. I'm just trying to find out here. And he did. He qualified 7th. RML, welcome along. So, yes, Muna, Vegas. Logan Sargent. Obviously, Williams having a major top speed last season. That isn't the case this season. They are not expected to have the same performance as top speed last year. They've got a more balanced and rounded car now compared to the heavy top speed they had last season. Remember last season? Heavy speed tracks, they would bolt on, they would fly in qualifying, and they'd go backwards in the race because they didn't have the race car to suit. They were a one-track pony. But yes, Muna, F1 is back. Exciting times. We are good to go again. Only 11 minutes until lights out. Who is going to do it? Let's give a prediction then. Let me know who are the 5 drivers that are going to go out in Q1. So just name me, if you are watching, name me the 5 drivers. I think Alpine are sandbagging a little bit, potentially. But surely the Kick Sauber teams, Haas, then I think it's going to be close. I am looking forward for Danny Rick. Danny Rick, full season. Will he have that Red Bull mojo back? Both Alpines, Sargent and both Hasses from the Bassett. So just saying, who is this on? On one of the Red Bull Cash App cars, having to tape down the engine bay because of the aerodynamics. In Yuki Tsunoda's car, Danny Rick ready to go, primed, looking chilled, looking nice and relaxed as he's about to get in the car. Max Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Norris. Akash, I'm assuming that is not to go out in Q1. I'm assuming that's your pole and out. We've had weird times before. Who remembers the season? I think it was in 2012 when there was 5 different winners of the first 5 races. Williams looked chilled, ready to go. No pressure, no drama in there. Just some front wing changes on looking like Albon's car. But can Williams perform this season? Muna goes Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, Magnussen, Albon, and Gasly. So you got both Williams. We've got a Haas in there. Could be interesting. Q3 for top 5. Gotcha. Oh, what is it going to be? Apparently, Alpine's cars are overweight. But maybe Alpine are really going to struggle. So Alpine actually think they are going to struggle. I don't think Alpine are sandbagging. Apparently, late changes to the car. No development as much. Overweight. Sounds like me. Definitely sounds like me. Nearly ready. 8 minutes. Let's move this over. Nearly there. Nearly time. That's everyone just bolting up now. Russell looking chilled on the pit wall. I think that shows confidence of Mercedes. But they are getting strapped in. They are about to get ready. I think maybe I'll check for you now, Muna. Renault, yes, you are right, Muna. It is. Renault engine still for Alpine, but after the paint job of the Alpine running so much carbon fibre, it kind of thought that they might be pretty handy this season, but clearly not. They're looking like they're saying they're going to struggle to get out of Q3, Q1 even. Fernando Alonso, what can he do? As hopefully our feed updates when they do start to go out. That's the hope. But at the minute, it is not far away. 6.5 minutes. Akash, I'm sure you're going to see plenty of memes out there around. If the Alpine does go last, you are going to see some interesting. You're going to see some interesting memes, that's for sure. Let's see what we want to show as well. Show the interval. And I'm hoping these update. We're getting ready. And it is updating, so qualifying is updating on the timing. Hopefully that does show on mine. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes. And it has updated. Here, first one ever. Here we go. Let's move this up a little bit. We're nearly there. F1 back. Bit of commentary, as a commentary on it as well. Any other last second predictions for pole position? Anybody reckon? Any outside chances? Anybody think it's not going to be Max Verstappen? And we've got the famous intro music now on the TV as well. RML, appreciate you coming along. Yeah, you should hopefully get some timings updates. You should get a track map. You should get me talking through it as well. Fingers crossed. We did a bit of testing to try and practice this stream, and it worked okay. So hoping it does do the same now, but only 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes till Q1. And we are nearly there. But fingers crossed it all works. I mean, that's the big pressure, right? It's got to work right. That's got to be the hope. Not long. 4 minutes. Three sessions of qualifying to come. 18 minutes in the first session in Q1, eliminating 5 drivers. Q2, eliminating another 5 drivers with a 15-minute session. And Q3, the final 10 drivers, 12 minutes. Shootout for pole under the lights here in Bahrain. What can we do? 3.3 miles is the circuit. A good 75% at full throttle as well. 203 miles per hour, the max speed round here. And 15 beautiful corners to take you through on these laps as well. Yeah, it is interesting, RML, yeah. But you're going to expect to see the soft tyres surely being ran in this race. If anybody's got pace and they think they've got very strong pace, you could see some mediums ran in Q1. But who is tempted for that? Dan, welcome as well. But what is going to happen in this? I think a lot of people thinking Red Bull are the favourites. I'm pretty sure a lot of people still think that. But who? It looks good, Bahrain. Everyone eagerly waiting. Dan, no problem. No problem, Dan. We're nearly getting ready to go, though. Hope you enjoy the F1, Dan. Make sure just to comment if you want as well. You don't have to listen to my voice. But, yeah, join in if you like. No worries, RML. No worries. We are nearly ready. And we'll get ready to start the timer. And then we can get going. I have to edit everything. Right, here we go. What do we got? 2 minutes. Well, I'll update the timer first. Oh, here we go. It's building. Hamilton's in. They're ready. They're sat there. Gloves are going on. It is cold in Bahrain. Remember, practice sessions are done at different times, different temperatures. Not yet, RML. Not yet. TMD. Will we be shocked and surprised? That is the key. But everyone's waiting for the buzzer. We'll see what tyres. Anybody fancying the mediums? That could be interesting. First out, in terms of this, I think the Hasses are going to struggle. Haas tend to not be great. Sorry, Haas. Alpine seem like they're struggling as well. But will there be any big shocks in this? So let's change the timer. Let's get this going, shall we? Because it is nearly there. It is nearly there. Right then, let's get the timer on. Let's just hide it. We are about to get away. In Q1. Make it bigger. F1 is back, baby. It is well and truly back. Because here we go. They are coming out of the pits. And hopefully my track map works. And hopefully it updates as they do get going. But Ferrari's first out by the look of it. While RML Ferrari are out first. Green light. We are good to go. And hopefully this track map works, unless I have to refresh it. But it is Ferrari out first in this session. Sainz and Leclerc. And I'll try and update the tracker map as well. So give me a second. See if I have to refresh it. And at the minute, it's all going out. So give me a second. I think everyone is trying to use it. So track map will come available at some point. Let's see if it... And it is working now. Yes, we have the track map. Here we go. Leclerc first out. Yes, so Sainz is there. I think it's just lagging a little bit. Leclerc, you can see now at the sector 1. And we are good to go in Q1. Ferrari out first on the track. You can see the Alpines are out there as well. They are just slowly updating on the map, as you can see above. But Ferrari just coming through turn 9 and turn 10. It will be Carlos Sainz first to set this Q1 away, with Leclerc the second time and Ocon and Gasly. Just 4 drivers are out on track at the moment. Just the 2 Ferraris, 2 Alpines. And they are both running in fairly reasonable gaps. The Alpines just a little bit closer than the Ferraris are. But big season for Carlos Sainz. And it is pretty laggy, so bear with on the track map, bear with. And you'll see, if anybody is just joining, over on the left-hand side, you do get the mini sectors. And I think it has. I think everyone is trying to load this up at the minute, so you'll have to bear with me and I'll give you the commentary at the same time as well. Let's just see if I can refresh. I think everyone is trying to use it at the minute, so yeah, bear with. But here we go. Carlos Sainz crosses the line and goes into turn 1 with Leclerc crossing the line now going into turn 1 too. So Carlos Sainz through turn 2 and turn 3. And looking very nicely, coming up to turn 4, looks okay. And Sainz is on the mediums. Sainz is on the mediums. Does a 29.7 through the first sector. Leclerc we're going to see come through as now. Leclerc 2 tenths up then, a 29.5 on Carlos Sainz already. And they are, I will try and show you, if I can, if it updates. There you go, mediums out there at the moment. So through turn 9 and through turn 10 we go. Carlos Sainz early on the power then. DRS open down this straight. And remember, TV is just slightly behind compared. Let's see what he does do through the second sector. 38.8 through the second sector. What about Leclerc, who was 2 tenths up in the first sector? And looks like he's tracking purple. We'll see what Leclerc does. And Leclerc does a 39.0, so he's down. He has lost 2 tenths, so they are pretty even now. What about Ocon? Ocon's about 3 tenths off the pace as well. Well, 2 tenths and Gasly 3 tenths off. And it is a 131.2 for Carlos Sainz on the mediums. What does Leclerc do as he crosses the line? Leclerc 31.2, so pretty similar for the Ferraris, but definitely a couple of tenths in each sector. As you can see, Leclerc losing out in the middle sector and final sector. Ocon does a 131.9, and he's 2 tenths slower, even 4 tenths slower than Sainz in the final sector alone. 132.4 for Gasly. So that's a big time difference, 1.2 seconds from Sainz to Gasly, just on the medium tyres. That's quite worrying for Alpine, I would say. But that is their first times in Q1 already in. Ferrari, both pretty consistent overall time, 131.2. But remember, F2 has just gone out before this in a sprint race. Track's rubbered in, but it does get pretty windy, dusty. So expect tracking time to improve, and they're only on the mediums as well. But everyone else sat in the garage at the moment. 131.2, 131.9 and 132.4 is the only times that we have seen so far. Sainz and Leclerc and the Alpines will probably come back into the pits. Can't see them doing another lap on them. And we'll see if they do. But Alpine are a big surprise. I think everyone will go RML. I think what they're doing is they're not burning any softs at this stage. No point burning softs when the track is so raw. Johannes, I think Max Verstappen will be pole position this week. I just think Red Bull are sandbagging hard, and they are going to be far too strong. So bear with, in terms of times, it is laggy, and the track map. So just got to bear with in terms of it updating, that's all. But Pierre Gasly has had a time deleted. So Gasly's time does not count for anything. He has removed it due to track limits. So this will update in a second. But Pierre Gasly, lap time already gone. So track limits paying a pain. And Gasly is back in. So yes, 5:02 bad gateway on the track map and the data at the moment. So give me a few minutes and it will hopefully be back up. But they're all now queuing up. No joke. They are all now queuing up in the pit lane to come out. And they are coming out very slowly. They are literally crawling pace. And literally the whole rest of the field has pretty much now started to move forward. You can see on the left-hand side, look, softs now bolting on. And you can see literally everybody has gone out. And Pierre Gasly, just showing the lap time now, delete. Oh, it does go over the white line at turn 13. So he is back to the drawing board. Surely some softs now as wow. So soft tyres for Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Bottas and Sargent. I'll wait to see what the Red Bull is on. And McLaren go to softs. So Oscar Piastri is on soft tyres. We'll try and see who else is on. Red Bulls, will they go softs? Albon's onto the softs. And now Albon is underway. So let's see. Danny Rick obviously away as well. And yeah, McLaren's on the soft tyres. So let's see what they can do. Alex Albon and the rest of the field. Albon doing some purple sectors on the soft tyres as well, remember. So expect pace improvement. Hulkenberg's got very purple mini sectors. So what you can see on there is mini sectors at the moment, telling you each position of the car as they go through. 29.1 on the soft tyre for Albon. That is 0.6 faster than Carlos Sainz's time from his first medium run. So big time from Albon. That is a big difference as well. 0.6 in the first sector alone. That is beaten by Hulkenberg at 29.0. And there's a lot of purple sectors now coming out as well. Sargent's doing okay. Sargent 28.991 through the first sector. So he's a man on a mission. And Albon's going fast in the middle sector as well. So could Williams be a surprise package here? Albeit they are on the softs compared to what goes through. Albon 38.7. That is a tenth quicker than Carlos Sainz, who's got the other fastest sector until that point. And a lot of green sectors. Obviously, first lap's coming out right now. A lot of improvement. Sargent did that 28.9, remember. Who is going to upset in the middle? Is anyone going to beat Albon's middle sector? Not at the moment. Hulkenberg 10th down. And this is really now going to set it as Albon does a 1:30.6, 0.6 quicker than Carlos Sainz on the mediums. Ricciardo pops into P2 with a 31.0. Good time by Danny Rick on the softs. But Albon, where's that pace in the Williams? Norris now 28.9 in the first sector as Hulkenberg takes P1 with a 30.6. So expect the times to tumble. Norris with a 28.9 through the first. And that is pretty decent of a time. It is around the same time as Sargent sets, just slightly quicker. Alonso's 28.89 now. So times flying everywhere. Verstappen, here comes the Red Bull. 28.7 for Max Verstappen through the first sector. He goes 0.2 quicker than what Alonso has set. So he's the pace now, or a 10th, coming out. Times everywhere, green everywhere as we are in qualifying. Let's keep an eye on Verstappen's time, but Hulkenberg set the pace at the moment. Norris 38.5 through the middle. Fastest middle sector. Piastri's only done a 1:30.6, same time as Albon. But what is Verstappen versus Norris going to do through the middle sector? Let's see. 38.5 for Norris. Here comes Verstappen through the middle sector. 38.5. looking pretty close between Norris and Verstappen, as Norris does a 30.1 across the line, 0.5 quicker than Hulkenberg. Let's see where Verstappen comes through as well. Verstappen just coming round now, the final corner, and he exits well. Where's Max Verstappen going to put his Red Bull in this time? He goes first, a 10th quicker than Lando Norris. So, didn't improve through the final mini sector, did the Max Verstappen's car. But there you go. The big teams are coming to the fore. Verstappen P1, Norris. Alonso did a 30.1 as well. Russell with a 30.3. Mercedes just a 0.3 adrift at the moment. Gasly under pressure, who's on his out lap, just starting his lap. Green sectors everywhere. Russell got the final sector improved time. So that looks good. 22.5. Who else is improving? Sainz is back out there now on a set of softs. 29.0 through the first sector. A couple of attempts off the pace of Verstappen's. Who else is improving? No one. Everyone at the bottom who went for mediums now improving on the soft tyres, as you would expect. And this is frozen at the moment, so we're back to the TV screen at present. Hopefully that will update in a second. And Charles Leclerc is just about to come across the line. Looks like he's going pretty slow. 2 tenths off. Leclerc goes 5th. I know it hasn't updated, so bear with. So we have got Leclerc 2 tenths off the pace. Sainz now. Final corner behind Stroll, getting a tow. He's done a purple middle sector. And now Carlos Sainz to come across the line. Cheers, Carlo. Cheers, Carlo. Carlos Sainz goes quickest. I know it hasn't updated yet. Bear with. He goes a 10th quicker than Max Verstappen. 10th quicker. Let's see if we can refresh. I think it's just down at the moment. And there you go. Carlos Sainz, you can see now, just updated on your screen. A 29.9. First driver into the 29s. And Gasly has just done his personal best. But look at Alpine at the back. Alpine 19 and 20th. Come on, guys. First runs. What is everyone thinking? Let me know down in the comments. What do you think of them initial laps? Because that is very interesting. No worries, RML. Let's have a look then, everyone. Let's have a look at the middle time and see if we can just see the best sectors. So, Verstappen is 2 tenths quicker than Sainz in the first sector, but Verstappen is 2 tenths slower in the middle sector. So that's where Verstappen has lost his time. Sargent's unhappy with a block by Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. But Connor, Norris looking good in P3. But everyone is now back in. So 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go. And they're going to be back out then for their runs. Who is in trouble at the moment? Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen. We've got Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. All in trouble. As my timer doesn't want to display the right time. It is, I promise, got a 35 in there. But it works and it don't work, basically. Who knows? But who's early thoughts then, everybody? Early thoughts on that first laps. Because it looks like Kick State, whatever they're called, are struggling down in 16th and 17th. Magnussen in the Haas, but look at Hulkenberg in P8. So you'd expect Magnussen to improve. Out comes both Williams. Everyone now coming back out with 4 minutes to go. Lewis Hamilton just looks like a rough lap, if I'm honest. He's now coming out as well. Everyone on brand new softs. Let's see what the interval is. Let's have a look. It doesn't show me the interval, I don't think. New set of softs. Right. 3.5 minutes. Let's update. We'll go on to the sectors. See where it is. So, everyone's starting to go back out. Ferrari's coming out with 3 minutes and 20 to go, and so are the Red Bulls. And who have we got first? So Zhou Guanyu looking like he's going to be one of the first drivers to finish his session. and they are all crawling. No joke, they are all absolutely crawling out of the pit lane. Zhou Guanyu is going to be the first driver to complete. We're going to find out, first of all, if Zhou Guanyu is going to be the first car eliminated. Based on if he doesn't improve, he is out. And let's bring you their best lap times so far, because it's going to show you their last laps on the right-hand side. So there you go, middle of the screen. It is best lap time. So look at Zhou Guanyu and Ricciardo. Zhou Guanyu, Ricciardo separated by 0.05 of a tenth. Very close between them two. Bit of a gap of 2 tenths to Tsunoda though. So got to be time. And there's a car at Leclerc overtaking in the pit lane. They are that slow. There's 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. They're still coming out the pits. They are very slow. Remember Monza? It is like crawling pace out of that pit lane. And I'm sure Zhou Guanyu is going to get a bit of traffic on this lap. And obviously, remember, this does freeze from time to time, but I'll keep you updated on the TV as well. So Zhou Guanyu going through the first sector. 29.2 is his target in the first sector. Zhou Guanyu does a 29.1. So Zhou Guanyu does improve by 0.05 of a tenth through sector 1. He's just coming around turn 7 and 8 now. Got a little bit of traffic, but as he approaches turn 9 and turn 10, we're going to find out if he can manage it. The sparks fly. Bottas in the first sector. Bottas is a tenth and a half up. He's doing a 29.0 at the moment. Bottas looking good. And I think, has this updated yet? Not yet. It's still trying to update. Let's see if I can refresh. But who else have we got? Hopefully, it will be back with you any second. Zhou Guanyu, 0.005 of a tenth still up. Everybody is improving out there at the moment. Everybody improving. Zhou Guanyu now coming through the final corner. He is about to set his final time of qualifying. Here we go. We're updated as well up here. Let's see what Zhou Guanyu goes wide at last corner. Zhou Guanyu could be out, but he doesn't. He goes up to P11. Who's improving? Stroll, fastest first sector. Everybody is getting in each other's way. It is chaos at the moment. Who is in trouble? Tsunoda, Stroll, Aston Martin. Hamilton's in trouble. 29.0. That is not a great first sector for Lewis Hamilton. Let's keep an eye on Hamilton. He's got to improve through that middle section. It is all kicking off. Sargent moving down. Stroll into the bottom 3. Stroll's got to improve. Still, first is sector. Tsunoda's had an awful middle sector, not improving. Stroll does a 38.6. Who is going to be in danger? Hamilton is in danger. What does he do through the middle sector though? Hamilton. Just coming through the final middle sector now for Hamilton. 38.8. Hamilton is down here. This is not a great lap by Lewis Hamilton. Stroll currently in danger. Hamilton in danger. This would be a huge, everyone improving. But are they going to improve enough? Q1 is done. Lance Stroll goes through. Lance Stroll goes second. Wow. Big time by Stroll. Hamilton is improving. But is it going to be enough? Hamilton only goes 10th in the Mercedes. Magnussen and Hülkenberg now at risk. Ocon and Gasly are improving. He's going to get Hamilton through by the look of it. Danny Ricciardo's through. So Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Logan Sargent, Ocon and Gasly looking like they're going to be potentially out. This is froze again, but I'll keep you updated on here as well. Ocon is down. Leclerc has aborted his lap. Leclerc has aborted, so he's safely through. But here come the 2 Alpines. Hülkenberg could be out. Just the 2 Alpines left to go. As we go around the final corner, let's see what the Alpines do. Esteban Ocon doesn't improve. Ocon stays 19th. Gasly stays 20th. Wow. Wow. Alpine. That is incredible. So Logan Sargent not getting through. That Albon, P9. So that Williams looks all-rounded. Logan Sargent will be very disappointed in that session. Zhou Guanyu and Bottas just missing out as well, and it was over a 10th to Magnussen in 15th. Wow, big shock then. Alpine are not at the races. That is pretty crazy. And what I'll do is I will set up for the next session. Let's do that. That is huge for Alpine. That is not what they wanted. So let's get rid of that one. What does everyone think then? Let me know in the comments. What did you think of that? Because that is massive for, let's go, AU8 in Q2. There you go. Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Logan Sargent, Ocon and Gasly all out. Let's catch up on, because that was pretty, that's pretty, I mean, I didn't have a chance to breathe in that, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. What did we reckon of that? So everyone did go soft in the end, as we expected. Xbox Gamer, Bottas sadly not going to get pole. We're not going to see that. Stroll looks good. Yes, Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin taking a P2 there. I mean, potentially a shock on the cards. Well, I mean, it probably would be a shock for Stroll if he was to take it. Akash says Tractor Alpine. I mean, Alpine are looking very on the back foot. Kind of what like McLaren felt like they were last season at the start. Hamilton struggling. Hamilton only P10. Norris robbed the third. Yes, Norris just behind Verstappen, not P1 though. That is the one thing you've got to remember here, that Verstappen is only P3 and Perez is only P6. Who else have we got? Hamilton and Piastri, the ones that didn't perform in Q1. So this, are Red Bull still sandbagging? Are they still sandbagging? Are Aston Martin and Ferrari showing their pace? Let's try and have a look, because we've got the best laps up. Let's look at the best sectors. You'll see it just in the purple/pink in your screen. So Stroll was 3/10 up in the first sector over Sainz, and he lost that in the middle and final sector to take his Aston Martin into P2. Who else have we got? Verstappen was about a 10th off the best time in Sector 1. Same Sector 2 time, and he was a 10th quicker than Stroll, but a 10th down on Sainz. So it's looking pretty close as it is. Akash, I agree. I think Red Bull will only show their pace in Q3. I think they'll just do enough. I mean, look, they're P3 and P6. They did far well enough to get through. And I think they will then release in... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Max Verstappen absolutely bolt in this final Q3 session when we get to it. But all right, give me 2 seconds and I'll be back. Tip, unmute your mic before you start talking. So who do you reckon then? Let's hear it. Who is going out in Q2? Vip, welcome. Who is going out in Q2? Obviously, you can see here the 2 Hasses were close. The 2 RB Cash App cars were close. Cash, we're back. Don't worry. I forgot to click the unmute button. Don't worry, we're back. Hamilton right on the cusp then. Hamilton potentially not getting a lap in. Let's check him out to Russell. So Hamilton was a 10th quicker than Russell in the first sector. He was 2 tenths down in the middle and matched Russell in the third. So potentially a final, well, that middle sector maybe just made a mistake when the track was improving. So maybe he's not actually that bad. Let's get the best lap times up. But they are out. Let's move. Our red bar comes up, and now we are interested in the top 10. Who is going to get through to top 10? Connor, we've probably got... Actually, we're live now. They are out. It is. They didn't show it on the TV. Let's change this. Let's update, because it is actually about to go to 14 minutes. We're 14 minutes and 15 seconds. Nobody is out at the moment. They're just holding fire as we speak, and then they will be out. There's Alpines just running down to collect their slow car. So, let's go. Let's save that in. We're good. I think we're good. But no one's out at the moment, so it's just waiting then for anybody to start. No one. Let's update. Q2 is a go. No one is running out quickly at the moment. 13.5 minutes to go in this session, and it is currently nobody at present. But who is going to go first? Who is going to bite the bullet? Russell's getting ready to go as well. Tyres are bolted on. Obviously going to be the soft tyres, expecting nobody to take the mediums now. It's going to be soft tyres all the way through to the end. Make sure if you are watching, hit that like button as well. Make sure to hit the subscribe if you're watching as well. Just support the channel, and we will 100% do this more often. But yeah, everyone's a bit of a lull. Obviously, maybe 15 minutes is a bit too long in a Q2 session. But cars are now starting to appear. Ricardo's out there. They're all on their out laps. Obviously, it depends on what the TV does follow at the time. And they're all going very slowly out of the pits. Everyone seems to be doing this, creating the big gap. But yeah, they're just talking on the TV. Look at the gap, everybody, to the two Alpha. I keep saying the wrong one. Kicks Albers, Bottas and Zhou Guan Yu, 1,000th of a second difference. So we are 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go. We are now in Q2, and we're fighting to get into the top 10. Who is going to make it through? And Mercedes still holding at the moment. Piastri is going to be a bit nervous, and so is Hamilton. Obviously, if this does freeze like it has at the minute, it will catch up. But everybody is using this feature at the moment, so just bear with, and it will be back. But I'll keep you updated. Don't you worry. So, nobody racing out there yet. Piastri really close to Magnussen. And you can see everyone just doing their outlaps. These are not representative times. They are on outlaps. And we're going to have the two Hasses who look to be first going over the line. So let's see what they do go for. So Hulkenberg. They are. Magnussen starting and Hulkenberg starting. Obviously, these are currently just on their outlaps. It's going to be Magnussen and Hulkenberg who are going to get our times over and out first of all. So let's go. Hulk starts. Imagine that for a pole position. Norris and Piastri and Hulkenberg and Magnussen. That wouldn't be too bad, would it? But let's see what we do then. Hulkenberg 29.2 then in the first sector. That is just beaten by 0.004 of attempts with Kevin Magnussen. So both Hasses running very similar. It is a 2 tenths quicker, pretty much 1.5 for Oscar Piastri through the first sector. Stroll looking there as well. 28.8, 2 tenths again. Pretty much quicker for Norris through that first sector. What about Stroll, who's just coming to the end of Sector 1 now, and Lance Stroll is going to do a 29.2. He's 4 tenths down in Sector 1. So, looks like Norris putting in a very good time with a 28.8, and Hulkenberg does a 39.1 through the middle. So, very close in the first sector between the two Hasses. We'll find out what they do through the middle sector as Magnussen goes through, And Magnussen does a 39.2. He's lost around 700ths through that sector. Piastri does a 38.8, but that is instantly beaten 3/10 of a second by Norris. So Hulkenberg sets the time with a 1:30.997. And we have got 31.1, 2/10 down, 1.5 tenths down even for Magnussen. Piastri does a 1:30.6. What about Norris, though? This is what we're waiting for. Norris, here he goes, 1:29.9, so similar lap time as through in Q1 for Sainz. So 29.941. Norris sets the pace early. Looks like Haas are going to be in trouble. Stroll, second off the pace. That is interesting. Stroll not got the time this time. And appreciate the subscriber, Paolo. And they're just reading that they do believe a lot of these are on used softs. So used softs. And they are on, look, you can see Verstappen and Alonso, Perez on brand new tyres, everyone else running the used tyres at present. So expect again times to improve on run 2. Alonso slots into second place and he puts in a 30.1 with the fastest final sector. Where is Max Verstappen? 28.5 through the first sector. That is a whopping time. 38.3 for Max Verstappen through the middle. Here comes Max Verstappen, ladies and gentlemen. He is starting to motor. He is coming down the back straight round the final corner. And as it updates, it has crashed. But Max Verstappen is flying. As Akash says, Piastri potentially got traffic. Potentially. This hasn't updated yet, but I'll keep you on board because Max Verstappen is about to come across the line and it's a 1:29.3. Welcome to Q2 for Red Bull. New tyres, remember, so expect everybody else to improve. But Red Bull have turned up, and let's say Perez has turned up with a 29.9. He is in the mix, and that is on new tyres, by the way. So that is interesting. 6/10 difference, just under 6/10 difference between the two Red Bull drivers. Russell, only a 30.6 for Russell, and a Hamilton of 30.3. They're on used tyres, so they've obviously got another set of softs, which is going to pick up the pace. But, wow. I think the rest of the field are closer than Red Bull probably thought they would be here. As we're just going on board with Kevin and Magnussen. Good old Kevin. And through turn, Kevin Magnussen track time deleted. He does go off around turn 7. Yep, running wide over the curb. Kevin Magnussen down to the bottom. But who we got in trouble then after their first runs? Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Albon and Magnussen. So the two Hasses, the two Red Bull cash apps, let's call them. And we've got Albon all in trouble. Yes, TMD, I think it has finally hit home. Red Bull are showing their hand just a little bit. But this is going to be... Verstappen did do new tyres. Verstappen and Perez both. So, incident involving Russell will be investigated after the session, failing to follow the race director's instructions. So, maximum delta time. So, potentially Russell going too slow on his outlap. But Red Bull, new tyres. Remember, everyone has got to use new tyres here. Who is going to need to run still? No one's going to be back out on softs unless Verstappen probably will. Akash, absolutely. But Hamilton, Stroll and Russell. So Hamilton slotted into 6th. Russell and Stroll in a little bit of trouble here. They are on the cusp, especially Stroll with that 1:39.9. He is a 100th of a tenth clear of Hulkenberg. Tsunoda currently out qualifying Ricciardo. And at present, just to view the grid, Gasly's going to start last for tomorrow. Ocon as well in 19th. They are going to form the back row. Sargent and Zhou Guan Yu are the next two. And then Bottas and whoever comes 15th. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in Q2. New tyres being bolted on. Will we see Verstappen back out? Because 6/10, he is 1.4 seconds clear, is he, I think? Let's go to the best lap time so we can check. We'll get used to this, everybody, don't worry. Best lap time then, let's take a look. And yes, he is 1.6 seconds quicker than Lance Stroll. Should we be surprised? Should we not? I don't know. But Stroll put a very good lap time in Q1, so maybe he will improve on the new tyres. How exciting. Who is going to have Red Bull showed their hand with a 1:29.3? Because that is a booming time from Verstappen. But track evolution, new tyres for the rest of the field as out we come again. And it's Lando Norris coming out. And everyone now filtering out. 4.5 minutes left to go. It is nearly time for the shootout. See what we've got. They are all crawling out the pit lane again. Very slow, almost stopped in the pits. And this Q2 shootout is going to soon, in the next 4 minutes, we will know who is our top 10 drivers, who are the strongest. I mean, you would expect Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin all to get through. But let's see what Hulkenberg can maybe do. Hulkenberg looking the strongest, is only just behind. But Leclerc is not happy on the radio. Everyone's stopping in the pit lane. This was supposed to have been fixed by the rules and regulations, but everyone is literally stopping in the pit lane. It is pretty chaos. But we are out, and we are now going to see who can improve. Remember, a lot of new tyres now for the field. We await to see if Max Verstappen does go back out there. But at the minute, we're going to see the two Hasses come through first. Let's see what they've got. So interestingly, just saying on the commentary, this is the fastest lap time of Bahrain since the regulation changes. Max Verstappen with the fastest time for a long time round here. But here we go then, 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And we are about to find out who is going out. Hulkenberg, or who is going in the top 10 even. Hulkenberg now starts his lap with Kevin Magnussen just about half the straight as the Mercedes now come out as well. So Mercedes just leaving the pit lane with 2.5 minutes to go. And Magnussen is improving, so expect to see a lot of times improve here as they go to the new tyres. Hulkenberg with a purple mini sector as well. Hulkenberg through the first sector on new tyres is going to set a 28.8. That is very respected by Hulkenberg. That is a good time in the first sector with new tyres. But I think Verstappen did do a 28.5. And it's pretty similar for Magnussen, but he does improve. So we're going to see a lot of improving times. Cheers, Chucky. Cheers. Appreciate it. But everyone is going to be improving. Piastri with only a 28.9. Piastri in a little bit of trouble through Sector 1. Who else have we got improving? He is improving through Sector 2. Watching the mini sectors. Hulkenberg's going a lot better. Stroll does a 28.6. That is only a 10th off Max Verstappen. So Lance Stroll with a very decent first sector. It is a 38.6 for Hulkenberg through Sector 2. So he's got to find time, and he is. He's improving all the way. Expect this to chop and change. And expect to see Russell, Stroll, Piastri all potentially in trouble here initially. 38.6 through the middle sector for Piastri. He's only matching the Haas. As Hulkenberg goes up to P2, a 29.8 for Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas with the fastest final sector as well. Max Verstappen is still out there. Magnussen only a 30.5 for Kevin Magnussen. He is looking like he's going to be out of this session because Russell and Stroll drops in. Piastri only 6th with a 30.1 through this sector. And that is his time done. Albon 30.221. But Hulkenberg, what a lap. What else do we got? Coming around the sectors now. Sainz does the fastest middle sector with a 38.3. Here have we got now. We've got Norris starting his lap. And he's fairly tucked up behind Stroll. And Lance Stroll only a 30.2. That is not quick. He was 0.8 slower in that one. Who else have we missed? Ricciardo moves up to a 30.2. He's now out. Ricciardo is out. Albon is the next out potentially with Hamilton and Russell. Stroll could be out here as well. It is all changing. Russell and Stroll need to potentially go. Let's see what Hamilton can do in the first sector. Stroll could be out here. Albon is out, Ricciardo's out, and Magnussen's out. But George Russell is in trouble, 28.9. Hamilton's done a 28.8. But Charles Leclerc now first, 29.1. What a time. He goes 2 tenths quicker than Max Verstappen. What about Russell then and Hamilton? This is what it is. All on now, the 2 Mercedes drivers. And they're not brilliant times. But surely, Hülkenberg in P5, everyone. Nico Hülkenberg has absolutely blown this field apart. And that means we're going to lose potentially Stroll. But through the middle sectors, I think it's just froze on here. I'll try and keep you updated. And Russell is down on Stroll. Russell is down on Stroll by 0.09 of a tenth. Hamilton is a 1/10.5 up. So Russell potentially going out here. Hamilton is up though. As we come around the final corners now, George Russell, it is froze here. George Russell goes through the final sector. He's up to 6th. Stroll is out. Now, just Lewis Hamilton to come through. He's coming down the straight as we speak. He's about to cross the line now. Lewis Hamilton is through. Lewis Hamilton, P4, 129.7. So out goes Yuki Tsunoda. Lance Stroll, only 12th. Albon, 13th. Ricciardo, 14th. Kevin Magnussen, 15th. That is Stroll. That is our first big driver of the big teams is out. And this is all completely froze. Hopefully, can I refresh it and get you back? No, not at the moment. Everyone's using it, so it is currently error. But it has finished. It is Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, Ricciardo, and Magnussen. It is completely down at the moment, the site, so give it a few seconds. Big. Tsunoda out qualifying. 7 milliseconds as well. That's not bad for the cash app. We'll try and get the timer set up. But that is a bit of a shock for Stroll. I think Stroll, after last year with his broken wrist, he would have expected to be up there. And he's not. But the thing is, the big, and I'll take off the Q3, the big call is Nico Hülkenberg into P6 at the moment. Where has that has come from? And it is currently still down. Everyone is trying to get on this website. So at the minute, it's currently frozen. But that is because everyone is trying to get on. So I'll keep you updated where I can. But yeah, let's just absolutely try and update the chat here. Let's try and put it in. But yeah, hopefully it will update briefly in a second. The website is completely gone at the moment. So bear with us. Not my fault. I can't do anything about that. And I'll try and put it in. So Tsunoda. Ricciardo's out. We've got Magnussen. And who else have we got? Albon. All out. Let's update that. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. Just because it's taking its time to bring this site back up. And yeah, at the moment, it's completely gone. So we might be back. But they are out of Q2. And we are now await Q3. I'll try and keep you updated if this doesn't return. But it is the website that is currently struggling. Remember, everybody will be after these times wanting to know. Yeah, TMD, it's just down at the minute. I am trying to refresh it, but everyone is trying to obviously actively use it. So that's the only bad part about it, which I'm realising obviously now. This will be the same for F1 Live as well. F1 TV does apparently struggle a little bit. So we'll see if it comes back up. But currently, hopefully it'll be back any second at the moment. But we're about to go Q3. Ah, no worries, TMD, no worries. But wait Q3. Hopefully it does come back. But remember, we will be live for the race tomorrow as well. But hopefully it's not coming back up at the minute. Currently, absolutely struggling. What time is the race? The race is at... Is it 3 o'clock? I believe. Yeah, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Alpines, yes, not good at all. Let's just put... So just waiting for that to come back up. But yeah, for some reason, obviously everyone's overloading onto this site at the moment, so that is why it is down. Yeah, it's completely struggling with connection at the moment. So hopefully they'll bring it back up, and it will obviously improve if it does. But I'll keep you updated. You can listen to my beautiful commentary at times. But I'll keep trying. But Mercedes leaving it late in the day in that one. So there's a lot of work for Mercedes to do. I am keep refreshing this page and see if it does come back up. Will it come back up? That's the hope. Try and put you this on there as well. You can just see down here, you've got the live bit here. Hopefully this will update. So I'll leave this on here as well, just to help you out a little bit. But at the minute, this website doesn't want to come back up. So you're stuck with me. And I imagine this will be the same for many people who use this website who are streaming too. Yeah, Cash, exactly that. As you can imagine, everybody flocking to it, trying to get their own data. And I'm sure they'll be working hard to try and get it back up, but I'll keep you updated. And I think we are back. I am just reloading it. We are good. I think we're back in. I think we are back. Which is good, because it gives you a little bit more to watch. We are going to Q3. Who's right? Let me know who is pole position. Who is going pole? Let us know. Who do you think? Everybody who is watching, I want to hear you mention in the comments, in the chat, who is getting pole position. Flood it now. Let's go. Who is going pole? Or even tell me your top three. P1, P2, P3. Here we go. And it's Hulkenberg out for Leclerc or Sainz for Johannes. CC, welcome. He's going for Hulk. Hulk. Wow. Imagine. Hulk's done it before in Brazil, hasn't he, I think? But he did a great lap there. Really good lap. Let's have a look at tyres. I'm surely expecting them all to be out on a couple of used tyres. Let's go back to that one. Yeah, so used tyres in the first run. New tyres for Russell. Norris, Piastri, Hulkenberg, all on used tyres so far. So let's bring up your best lap times. Here we go. It is, can't see past Max. Few votes for Max. Anybody else want to say who is getting pole before we go? And this looks like it's frozen again. Everyone is trying to get on this. Has it? Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit. It is struggling a little bit. There you go. But I'm sure it'll be back up any second. I'll keep you updated. There is 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go. What can we see in Q3? Aston Martin of Alonso still in the garage. Is he going to go for one run? And now it has updated, and we can see Hulkenberg, who has now started his flying lap. Nico Hulkenberg is going to put himself on pole provisionally here. And let's see, this is where Red Bull will show their pace if they have been keeping it back. And Sean Duncan with the old sub. Big up, Sean. Well, hello, mate. Welcome in. Bit of fun and games, eh? Much love, my man. 29-0 then for Nico Hulkenberg through the first sector. We know that he's a couple of attempts slower than what was set by a 28.5 even for Max Verstappen in the first sector. So Hulkenberg, as we expect, well off. Norris only a 29-0 as well. Remember, there is some used tyres out here compared to the new one. Max Verstappen looks like he's flying. 28.8 for George Russell. And now we await Max Verstappen's first sector. Surely going to go purple here. And it goes a 28.6. So he's gone. Couple of attempts up then on George Russell. So Verstappen putting some pace. 38.8 through the middle sector for Nico Hulkenberg. And he is now coming down the straight to start his final corner. Remember, probably another run on faster tyres with the fresh tyres out there as well. But 9 minutes to go. 38.3 through the middle now. 5 tenths quicker by Lando Norris. What else have we got? Verstappen just coming through as well into sector 2. There's a 30.5. We know that's not going to be strong enough for Hulkenberg. Norris does a 29.6 then through that lap, and obviously used tyres as well. So good time. Not too bad. Piastri well off the pace though, 30.6, a second slower. Max Verstappen only a 38.3, slower than Lando Norris through the middle sector. And now coming up to the final sector, what sort of times we're going? Russell crosses the line. It has froze, but it's a 129.6. He goes P1 at the moment. We await Max Verstappen, who is improved in the second sector, but not purple. We'll keep refreshing and hopefully bring it back. Max Verstappen goes provisional pole, 129.4 for Max Verstappen. So he tops the timesheets. We await the Ferraris and Hamilton, only a 30.4. Perez, 30.0. What about the Ferraris, who looking just a couple of attempts off the pace, but it is where they're going to go. Russell second, Norris third. Sainz now into P3 with a 29.6. And let's see where Leclerc puts himself, because Leclerc is improving in the final sector. Leclerc goes second with a 29.4, 0.06 of a tenth off Verstappen. This could be close. We have got the top 5 separated by just under 3 tenths. Ferrari looking strong. Hamilton looking nowhere at the minute. Second off the pace. But used tyres. Let's check what tyres everybody else did go on to. So Max Verstappen was on new tyres. Leclerc looking like he was on used. Russell and Sainz were on new. Perez, Hamilton and Piastri all on used tyres. So expect improvement after them initial runs. But it's Verstappen on provisional pole at the moment. So does anybody want to change their decision? Does anybody think there is potential for somebody else to take pole position? Or are you sticking with your decision? Yes, Leclerc, solid. Ferrari looking up there. But so are Mercedes, look. Only 2 tenths between Mercedes and Verstappen. We all expected Mercedes, or even, Red Bull, to be potentially well clear. They are not. I can't see them sandbagging on run 1 in Q3. So I think this is true pace now. But Alonso is now out. So this is frozen. But Alonso, brand new tyres, no traffic. And let's see what Alonso can do. Just showing a replay through George Russell. And let's see what he says. So, nearly lost it on that lap, George Russell. And that is a lap time that has only put him less than 2 tenths off the pace. Munir looks like, in terms of used tyres, McLaren definitely using used tyres. And a couple of the individual drivers as well. See if we can just check. Doesn't give me the current ones now. But we have got Alonso. Let's go back to best lap, who is now on his one-time lap by the look of it. And he is about to start. It's just coming through the last straight to start his flying lap. Clear air, no traffic problems for him. We've got just under 5 minutes to go in Q3. Yeah, so Lando Norris probably got a good couple of attempts on. I can't remember, but I believe he was using used. That's what it told me anyway. As Alonso starts his final potential, well, it will be his only one and only run in Sector 1. Let's see what he can do. Just coming through now, coming down the straight. What can Alonso do? This is going to be the true pace. Remember, Stroll did a very solid lap in Q1, didn't repeat it in Q2. So let's see what he can do in Sector 1. New tyres for Alonso, 28.8, couple of attempts down, I believe. Yes, 3.5 attempts down on Sector 1 of Max Verstappen. So a lot to find already. But this is potentially still putting him in the mix of everybody else. Maybe Verstappen took a bit too much out of his time on that Sector 1. We're just going through turns 9, 10. Very tricky braking spot. And he's safely through as he comes down the straight. DRS open then. And into turn 11, we're just coming up to the end of Sector 2. And it's obviously green because he hasn't set a lap time so far. But here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds, this is going to be Alonso's only run. 38.2, middle sector is a tenth quicker than Max Verstappen. Let's see what his final sector. Has he saved the tyres? And he's going to save it now for this Q3 run. It has frozen on the screen. I'll keep you updated if it doesn't come back. But it is a good Sector 2. And how good is that top speed of this car? We're coming through now. Alonso down the straight. Where's he going to put himself? P3, 29.5. Solid time, only a tenth, just over a tenth off Verstappen. So this is all to play for. This looks like a potential great qualifying shootout and a potential great race. But not all cars are out there. McLarens are both out. We await Perez, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Leclerc and Verstappen. What can Nico Hülkenberg do? Yes, Alonso, P3. Aston Martin are there. But is that track evolution? Or is it a little bit of just Alonso being the Spaniard, the absolute beast that he is? But let's find out. Because Piastri now in the McLaren, new tyres, but Piastri was quite a bit off over a second as Piastri is starting his lap and the Ferraris are just coming out of the pits. So hopefully they don't get in Piastri's way. And it's just Charles Leclerc who potentially could be in the way. Piastri's not improving. Now he starts to improve, but he's not improving massively through these mini sectors. So Piastri just struggling with this McLaren at the moment. And let's see what he does through Sector 1 as he comes to that. It is an improvement of a 28.9, but he's still just under 4 tenths slower through Sector 1 than what is the Red Bull of Verstappen. Norris is improving as well. As Norris comes through, Norris, why he doesn't improve overall, he's slower in Sector 1, so not finding improvement. Let's see what Hülkenberg does. The man of the moment in the Haas. 28.9, lapping around in between Piastri and Norris on the times. So Hülkenberg looking like he's got that Haas absolutely hooked up here in Q3 as well, again as Q2. McLaren is just off the pace, but hopefully they'll pick it up in Sectors 2 and 3. 38.3 through Sector 2 for Oscar Piastri. Can he move himself up? Only needs to find, 4 attempts to move up into P8. 38.2, fastest middle sector for Lando Norris. Has he saved his tyres? But he's still 5 tenths down in the first sector originally. And let's see what Oscar Piastri can do as he now comes across the line. And Red Bull of Verstappen is going to get a lovely toe. Verstappen is going to get an unbelievable toe down this straight. He is absolutely tucked behind all the way down, moving to the side Piastri. And it's Max Verstappen who follows him to the side. Expect Max Verstappen a fastest Sector 1, which should be incredible. Norris then, a 29.6, only goes 6th. So McLaren, 6th and 7th. Let's keep an eye on these sector times. Russell hasn't improved. Alonso hasn't improved. 28.5 for Verstappen. He has improved. Is not improving through the mini sectors at Sector 2. So has Verstappen used too much tyre in Sector 2? And I think this has froze at the minute, maybe. Let's keep refreshing. It's still going. So is he going to improve? As you can see, it's now Russell 38.4 in the middle sector. 38.8 by Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's done a last 10th place. Verstappen through the middle sector. Can he beat the 38.4? He can. Verstappen has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Verstappen is flying with a 38.2. Hamilton only a 38.4. As Russell goes P3. Russell with a 29.4. Leclerc only 2 tenths down on Verstappen, but he is about neck in the Sector 2. This is all to play for. Alonso moves down to 4th. A 29.1 from Max Verstappen. That is unbelievable. He has smashed it. 29.1. What about Leclerc, though? Can Leclerc fight back? Because Verstappen is pole at the minute. Still McLaren. Sainz only... He's improving, but he's in 5th at the minute. Leclerc does a 29.4. 3 tenths. Just under 3 tenths. Away as Sainz goes 4th. 29.5 for Carlos Sainz. And that is potentially... What about Perez? 29.5. Perez only 5th in the Red Bull. And that could be that. Max Verstappen is your pole sitter again in Formula One. And he has done it by some distance. 2.2 tenths of a second. Max Verstappen takes pole position. And that is done and dusted. Lewis Hamilton, only 9th. He will be very disappointed. That is a bit of a shock for the Mercedes. Hulkenberg, obviously well out of it on times. He did a 30.5. It was Hamilton with a 29.7. And I mean, he's well off the pace, Hulkenberg, as you would expect. The big teams arrived, and Max Verstappen certainly arrived with a 1:29.1. Let's take a look where he made his time and check out the best sector time. So, against Leclerc, he was 3 tenths faster in the first sector. Now, if anybody watches this session later on highlights or has been watching it, Max Verstappen got an unbelievable tow from Oscar Piastri down the straight. He literally, the full straight, he absolutely DRS towed. Unbelievable. That was brilliant. But through the first sector, 3 tenths clear than Leclerc. He lost 2 tenths in the middle sector. He lost a 10th in the final sector. But I really think that potential position, I mean, under 3 tenths, just over 2. How much did he gain down the straight, though? That is huge. Let's have a look. Ferrari towards the front, P2 and P4. So Ferrari are there. If we take Max Verstappen out, like Ferrari are there. Mercedes with George Russell in the mix as well. So we've got a front row for Verstappen and Leclerc. We've got Russell and Sainz, Perez and Alonso. Both McLarens will line up together. And Hamilton and Hulkenberg will line up together as well. So what do you reckon of that, everyone? What does everyone think your first qualifying session in Bahrain is complete? And it is Max Verstappen who takes pole. So yes, Moon is not happy with Lewis Hamilton only starting 9th. Bit of a shock for him. Where did he lose time? And it looks like he lost 3 tenths in the first sector. He lost a 10th in the middle sector. And he did put in the same sector time as Verstappen. So first sector. Now, we've got to say this. Obviously, if we take Verstappen's time out of the equation, because he is so quicker than everyone else, it's 3 tenths gap between P2 and P9. So it is very quick, or very close together. Yeah, so Moon is saying Russell's good at qualifying, but still finds a way to finish behind Lewis. I mean, Lewis is a great driver. We're not going to take that away from him. He's going to have every chance of coming through. But McLaren start off better than they did last year. McLaren struggled last year off the bat, and they are banging the money so far. But it's Max Verstappen who takes pole position with a brilliant lap and a brilliant toe from Oscar Piastri, which probably has enhanced the time. But I think we're in for a good race tomorrow. If not for Max Verstappen, who could lead and run away with this race if that pace is absolutely genuine to go by, surely we are in for a best of the rest race between Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Perez, Alonso, all the way up to Hamilton. That should still be an absolute beautiful race, and hopefully they are in the mix with Verstappen, because first corner could be absolute key. Remember the dramas of previous years here, but I'm sure the grid are going to take note, and I'd love to see the speed that Max Verstappen got down that straight with that toe, because he's the only driver that absolutely smashed. He was 2 tenths quicker than Perez in the first sector. I don't know if we can see anything else in terms of any telemetry. Yeah, it doesn't give us a lot, but I do generally think it could be very close tomorrow. Lewis probably overtakes between lap 1 and 3. I think Lewis is going to come through. I mean, Lewis, the very experienced racer, and he knows his witchcraft on start of races. But that is qualifying. F1 is back, qualifying already done. Remember, we are live for the race tomorrow, so make sure to come back and join us. But that is the top 3, and it's 3 different cars: Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. I'm sure Perez, that's going to open up Red Bull's eyes a little bit. Perez only P5, and he's 4 tenths off his teammate already, obviously in the sister car. I mean, Stroll, I think, is the big disappointment of the day. Lance Stroll down in P12. I think Alpine have well and truly created something that's very heavy, and they're going to be struggling. It looks like Sargent 18th. I mean, he'll be disappointed with that, especially with Alex Albon sitting in P13. So 5 tenths difference between the two as well. So no further action with the investigation into Russell. So Russell is cleared of any wrongdoing, and he will start P3 in this race for tomorrow. Which, remember, if you haven't seen or haven't heard, tomorrow we'll see the introduction of DRS available after lap 1. So lap 1 completes tomorrow, DRS will be enabled straight away. So that is new for this year, whereas usually it is 2 laps that we have to wait until it does get triggered. So hopefully it is going to yield some big differences with overtaking and maybe not letting Max Verstappen absolutely fly off into the distance. But yeah, it's a familiar sight with everything. So Muna, yes, DRS has changed for the main race this year. So usually you would have to complete 2 laps and then DRS would then be enabled on the 3rd lap. However, that is not the case. Today it is only going to be, or tomorrow, after lap 1. They'll complete lap 1, and then as they hit the line to start lap 2, DRS will enable. So that will keep the pack closer together. It should yield more racing as well, some more overtaking. You can imagine now when everyone's 2-3 tenths apart down the straight, it's going to be absolutely chaos tomorrow's race. But we will be late. We will be live around 2:30 UK time tomorrow, and we will be getting ready for our first race of the season in Bahrain, and looking forward to it. But it's a similar story. Red Bull, especially Max, I think 2.2 tenths quicker. I don't think it tells the true story. I think he did. I mean, he's 2.5 tenths quicker in the first sector. I do think he got an absolutely unbelievable toe, and that is going to see him elevated. But Red Bull apparently have really good race pace, so that is going to be very interesting to see how that does play out as well. But we'll see tomorrow what does happen. So first of all, we had some great viewing here, over 70 viewers for our first ever one of these. So I want to appreciate you all for coming to joining us. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've enjoyed our commentary, trying to keep up. Ferrari disappointed Leclerc, but really appreciate you enjoyed these. Hopefully you want to see more of these as well. And yeah, we'll see you for tomorrow's race at 2:30, I believe it is. We'll be live. We'll have a build-up. We'll reflect on qualifying. And then we'll come out with the main race, which is at 3 o'clock UK time. So it should be an absolute blast. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you tomorrow for the main race.